Hello, everyone. It's Michael Jaco with Unleashing Intuition Secrets. So just had an unbelievable show with Laura Eisenhower. She's like such a great channel, the Goddess energy, the Mother Earth energy. Just really a great share. Probably, I think, one of the greatest shares she's ever had. And I've been watching her stuff for a while. So you guys really want to watch that one. It's quite amazing, the information that came through. I mean, galactic information, astrological information, how to keep your consciousness correct and how to have the best life you can have, how to overcome a lot of this negativity. It's just on and on and on. It's like, I was like, wow, wow, wow. She even said, the intuitive warrior. So it's like the balance of the masculine and the feminine. I was like, oh my God, I've never heard it expressed that way. It's like, that's really cool. So she was on a rare, I wouldn't say rare, but for her, she can tap into this. I've met her personally, and she's absolutely amazing woman. I get to meet her again in Mount Shasta. You guys that have signed up for that Mount Shasta retreat that we're going to do, she's going to be there. There's like an amazing lineup, and we were going to do this earlier, but with the lockdowns and everything, we're like, is it going to be okay? And now they're trying to like squeeze them out there again. So we pretty much committed. We're going to do it, one way or the other. So the end of August, which is starting tomorrow, towards the end of August, is when we're all going to meet up there, and beautiful, spiritual, amazing Mount Shasta. And we're going to have a great share. All right. So everyone's bringing like their best game and going to be talking it up. We're going to have more of these events. I talked to Rob Potter, and I'll talk to him more when I'm up there, and maybe do one in Sedona, which is a great place, and some other high energy places throughout the country. So lots of stuff going on as usual. Now, what is I just had a round table earlier with a group of people, Janine and Patriot Dave and some other wonderful people. And we talked about, what's going on right now. So we all pretty much are on the same sheet of music as far as what needs to happen going forward. And that is for consciousness, for the people to wake up. All right. I mean, I could clean house. I could get a group of people together. We could clean house all over the world in like a couple of weeks, literally. We could go and clean house. If we green light, Mike, you and your team go, we would take out all of the bad actors that are right at the top, right, that are causing all these problems. But then what would happen? Well, consciousness is not at the point where it would correct this problem. So the consciousness of humanity has to correct the problem, right? You guys are well, why doesn't military come in and take care of this? All over the world, everyone says the same thing. And it's because the consciousness is not at the right place. So a lot of you guys are like, what does that mean? Watch me and Laura Eisenhower talk about it. Go to that show and watch that, and go to a lot of the other shows that I've been, having with people lately. We're basically coming to the same conclusion. 107 says it has to be a certain number of people. Michelle Fielding, there has to be a certain number of people, right? She says we're at that point now. I believe that. I believe that we're at that point, but we still have work to do, I believe, right? So there's just a little bit more to go. I think it's coming to a head. We've heard this before. Things can happen. Everyone's going to be pulling out their game, both sides, white hats and black hats. Everybody's going to be throwing down. And we're seeing the black hats throwing down their game again, trying to lock everybody down again, coming up with more mask mandates, more jabberdoos and everything else, trying to push the jabberdoos harder and harder and harder, make it mandatory all across the board. Why? So they're, doing their game. It's part of their game, their game of world domination. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. And we'll talk about some other things. Tomorrow, I'm with Lewis Herms at 12 o'clock. All right. We're both taking ideas from people. We're going to talk about gematria. We're going to talk about American gematria and how that gematria basically lines up Trump, Melania, 107, and a lot of other people, Ron DeSantis here in Florida, and a lot of other people. All right. We're going to talk about how Gematria is lined up all these people. We're going to talk about time travel. Yeah. And a lot more. So there's lots of stuff we're going to be talking about tomorrow, 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time tomorrow, Lewis Herms and I, and you guys don't want to miss this one. All right. Live event. We're going to be looking at questions. He's hitting up his group. I'm hitting you guys up. Come up with some questions. We're going to be looking at people in the chat. Some of the people that, monitor the chat and so forth are going to try and bring attention to some really good questions that are coming through. All right. So don't want to miss that one. That's going to be good. Don't want to miss Laura Eisenhower. If you missed it, go back and watch it. And you don't want to miss this show. So this show is going to be good too. You guys like my threads? Oh, this is luxurious. And I have a lot more colors. This is a tri thread. All right. Try and say that very fast. I can't. So maybe you guys can try it. Tri-thread. Yeah, it's not very easy. So it has 3 different types of material in it. See how it's stretchy? Because when I work out, I get huge. I get like Hulk huge when I'm in the gym. And, I need something that stretches and moves. And, I work out hard and sometimes I sweat. Well, actually, every time I sweat here in Florida. I need something that's got a material that basically wicks it off and breathes and so forth. This is great material. It looks luxurious. So it's what is it, like unisex? I think it's unisex where women and men can wear it. So you hotties out there that like walk around, look cool, you can just put this on and look cool walking around. I like to wear it to work out, all right? Or be cool, not like I'm cool, but cool, because it's hot here, hot in Florida. It's a hot summer in the city. Remember that song? I do. Some of you guys might. So I've been around a while. I know a lot of songs. All right, let's share the screen and see what we got. So I got some stuff. Oh, I got some stuff. Here's Laura. Here's her site, lauraeisenhower.com. It's Cosmic Gaia. It's fantastic. So this link is in the show that I did with her. What I want to do is go into this and let you guys see some stuff. So let me click on this one thing where it goes into her Telegram. So once you're in her Telegram, she just had a new post. I think that people want peace so much. So we even talked about her great grandfather. I think that people want peace so much that one of these days, government had better get out of their way and let them have it. Woo! How about that? That's a cool one. So if you're not subscribed to Laura or me in Telegram, I'm in Unleashing Intuition. You can go up. So you come into Telegram and then you put like in the box. So I put Cosmic Gaia. That brought up Laura Eisenhower. Put Unleashing Intuition. That'll bring up my site. So you go into the far right corner, there's a little box where it says, sign up for this channel. And then you hit that and then you're in. All right. And then you get notifications when stuff pops up. All right. So that's cool. So what I wanted to do is show you guys something that I found within her stuff. Oh, she did cool and Contact from the Stars. I got to check that out later. Right here, she's got a link and it brings up this stuff right here. So this is kind of like a banned network. So we're not going to talk too much about this so we don't get banned. Breaking. So they're talking about lockdowns through 2022. All right. So that's their plan. And they'll do, the mail-in ballots just like they did last time to basically steal stuff. So I want you to bring to your attention to Gibraltar. I've talked about this before. Iceland. They see massive 19 spike despite over 90% of population being jabberdude. All right. So this is very important for you guys to understand this going forward. You need to be detoxing. All right. It's very, very important going forward. So if you're not detoxed, then you're going to have problems whether you're jabberdude or around people that are jabberdude. All right. So super spreaders. All right. Super spreaders. Super spreaders. Say that. Super spreaders. That's right. That's what they are. And and God bless them. You know, they thought they were doing the right thing. But if they, like we've been talking about, have that higher consciousness, because that higher consciousness keeps them in a negative ion. All right. Negative ions are very important. If you're around waterfalls or got your feet in the sand in the ocean and stuff like that, negative ions. All right. So you beachgoers, you're probably going to stay healthy, but they're going to lock us down so you don't get that. See how this works? All right. And that's stressful. So that stress creates positive ions. So if you're on computers all day, which I am, I gotta get in nature, gotta get barefoot in the grass. And I do that every day. I walk around the grass. I have a nice grass where I'm living right now. It's very beautiful. So I go to the beach. I walk on the beach, you know, get my feet in the water, the salty water. I have a saltwater pool. So all these things are negative ions. All right. Negative ions. So you want the negative ions. So if you're detoxing, it's clearing out the positive ions, which cause problems in your body, which jabberdoos do. Right. It's not mince words. So although I have to like change words around so I can get them out there. So jabberdoos, you know, we know there's problems there. And if you're doing any kind of real research, you're seeing that. I did a post today on Facebook, and I have all these people posting all this stuff. And because I see this stuff every day, I'm like on this stuff. It's not good. Right. It's not good what I'm seeing. And we can't share it. But if some of you that are still on the fence saw some of this stuff or did a little bit of research on your own, you would see that this is not good. Right. On many different levels. Biden updates on COVID response. So this was 2 months ago. Let's listen to what this guy says.
If you've been fully vaccinated, you no longer need to wear a mask. Let me repeat. If you are fully vaccinated, you no longer need to wear a mask. But if you've not been
vaccinated. All right. So to protect those, now this is the new thing, to protect those that are not jabberdude, they want you guys that are jabberdude to wear masks to protect us. Or did I say that I didn't? Maybe I did. So you know, there's a lots of confusion out there right now because they were like, go get your jabberdude, then you don't have to wear a mask. And now they're saying you got to wear the mask. That's funny, right? It's not so funny, right? It's not so funny. And you guys need to push back hard. Governor DeSantis has, and Governor Abbott has. So is that going to happen in other states? We know these deep state governors, you know, they have their script, and they're going to put you guys into, you know, these lockdowns. That's why I'm out of Cali. All right, let's listen to this gentleman right here. Democrat claims Republicans' choice caused 19 resurgence.
I think it's important, though, to really ground ourselves in why are we in this situation? The first wave of COVID was a surprise. The second wave was seasonal. The third wave, geographic. But this fourth wave, this is a choice. This is a choice that Republicans are making. They're suing Speaker Pelosi over mask mandates. They are undermining basic science instead of directly communicating to their constituents and saying what I will say now: this vaccine is safe, this vaccine is effective. Get a vaccine to protect yourself and to protect the ones that you love.
All right, so there you go. Get your marching orders, everyone. So they're gonna try and control this narrative like they have for a long time. Okay, so I have people that have basically developed this thing that's in the Jabberdoo that are saying, better not do that. So it's up to you guys how you go about this. All right, it's total choice. Follow the science. There's science on both sides, right? But the people that really are the ones I believe in are the ones that developed all this stuff and are saying that better not do it. So it's up to you guys. You know, I know a lot of you guys have already taken it, and you're kind of concerned. my thing I would say to you is, like I just said, stay higher consciousness, do a lot of detoxing, lots of D3, be in the sun, UV light. So why do they want to put us inside? Be aware, guys. All right. Be very, very aware going forward. You need to be in the sunshine. I've been saying this all the way back in January of 2020. All the way back then, I said, yeah, this thing came from labs in China. Not what they're saying. I was saying all the way back then. Where are those videos? That was my first wave of YouTube shutting me down. Then a second wave shut down. Then now a third wave. So now I'm on my fourth channel. How long will this one last? I don't know. I don't care. I'm going to continue to share as discreetly and staying within the bounds the best that I can, from, trying to watch my words, mince my words, change my words, whatever they want, and then they're going to change it again, just like they're changing the mask mandates again. All right. You can't stay ahead. You will not satisfy these people. They are going to come after us. They are coming after us. All right. So a lot of you guys think you can appease them. That is really unsmart. All right. So take, for instance, nurses that didn't have jabberdoos before the jabberdoos were around. They're working on all the people that are, 19, infected, and they're heroes. And now they're saying, I don't want to take that jabberdoo. That's dumb. I know the science. And they're getting fired now. All right. So guys, you can't appease these guys. I know. I worked in the military. I worked in the CIA. You do not appease these people. They will destroy you at the drop of a hat. At the drop of a hat. Faster than the drop of a hat. All right. Ask any Indian. Ask any Indian if you can trust the government. All right. So, you guys, I'm a swarm defender of humanity. So I am doing my best. And it's not easy. They keep shutting me down here and there and coming after me in different ways. And they've been doing that for a long time. But I just keep wiggling out. And it's almost like, when I was a fullback in high school football, slamming through the lines and wiggle through the lines, and I'm out. I'm gone, because I was the fastest guy in my school. And once I got going, you're not gonna catch me. I'm fast. And or used to be. Had my kneecap shattered. Not as fast anymore, unfortunately. So anyway, there's a lot of effort to pull us down, hold us back, tackle us. So and then jabberdoo us. And if there's that much effort into making this jabberdoo, guys, you got to really ask yourself, with government that really has always been suspect, and we can go on and on and on, why would you still trust it? So many people do. It's unbelievable, because they believe that the government is going to take care of them. All right. So I will take your attention to, which has been disclosed in Tuskegee. There was and it's been disclosed also in Guatemala, where they did a syphilis test on people that didn't know they were being tested. And so they were being monitored for years and years and years. Yes, they injected people with syphilis. It didn't tell them they were injecting people with syphilis. And they've come out and said, oh, we're sorry about that. Oh, there's like 5 people still alive. We'll take care of you. So that's the way they do this stuff all the time. This has happened in the military too. I remember when, the Gulf War was kicking off and we were going over there, they're like, you guys got to get the anthrax shot. So like, everybody's like, screw that. Some people got out of the military. They refused to get it. The same thing is happening again. So this has been going on for a long time, guys. So the military has been the brunt of a lot of this stuff for a long, long time. All right. And now the whole world is. That 1% in the military, which most people like, 1%, whatever. whatever military. You guys signed up for it. Wow. So I get that all the time. I used to get that all the time, all the way up until my last days in the military. And then people, like, I guess they decided we're going to make heroes out of the military now. I was like, wow. So finally I'm a hero, after, 23 years, my last year, everybody's like, thank you for your service. I never got that before. Never. 23 years, never got that. And in California, when I first went in the late 70s, you were like, no one wanted to date you. It was tough. No one wanted to date you if you're a military guy, because that Vietnam War thing, they just hated on military guys. So it was a little rough, but Mike prevailed. I was good. Some lovely ladies had mercy on me. So and then eventually, it was all forgotten. They stopped pushing. They start, pushing that like they're doing right now on stuff. They stopped pushing it, and then everybody forgot. Oh, the military guys, I guess you guys are okay, right? Yeah, we're okay. So, oh my God, it's unbelievable. Yeah, we're like you. We're like everybody else. And now people are like, oh, Mike, once CIA, always the CIA. Oh my God. Yeah, not everybody, guys. Not everybody in the military is bad. Not everybody in the CIA is bad. I'm not bad. But some people just want to believe that, They want to have something negative, like this guy, like this Democrat congressman. Somebody has to be the bad guy so that they look good. So they're going to point out people that, have made the choice and they're the problem. Wow. So, okay, I beat that horse enough. So let's go on. No deaths, few hospitalizations, but 74% of those testing positive for 19 in Cape Cod outbreak were jabberdude. 74%. 74%. Right. And I just showed you where 90% in Gibraltar, in Iceland, 90% of jabberdude. So what's going on with that? Does anyone get this? Does anyone get this? How many healthcare providers have been jabberdude? That's not good, right? It's not good. So I know a lot of you jabberdude out there, and I'm probably going to get real big pushback on this because I know a lot of you guys are in the healthcare industry that watch me, and I love all of you guys, and I hope you are safe. But this is the fact. These are the facts, right? Whether it's happening right now or whether it happens further out, that's what a lot of these experts are saying. It's going to continually work the system until it breaks it down. All right. So how do you prevent that? Let me give you another story. Or I have someone shared with me, and they're probably watching. Thank you very much for sharing that information. That she works in a place where they do the float tanks, and she does massage. And she says, every day I'm soaking it out of my feet. She's doing the right thing. She's detoxing every night. All right. She's awesome. Everyone should detox. Everyone should detox. I detox every day. Every day I'm detoxing. You got to do it now, guys. Every day. All right. So there's lots of products out there. Some of them are in the Ascent Nutrition. All right. We've talked about those many times. We talked about them last night. Go into Ascent Nutrition and look for detox. Right. So the pine tincture is one of the best ones. I have that. And but it runs out really fast. So if it's not there, there's other things. They have a detox group of supplements. You can get the whole bundle like I just did. It's coming. It's on its way here to me. Or you can get other products. So lots of different ways you can do this. So anyway, this massage therapist is telling me that they have float tanks in her, wellness center. And the float tanks are getting this strange scum. And you guys are going, oh shit. And that's right when she told that to me, I'm like, oh shit, I'm not going in those things. Of course they would be. So they can't get rid of it. They can't get rid of this. It's like some kind of gold filament stuff, she said. And the people that are, in charge of, once they drain those tanks down, they basically come in and clean them. They're just having a hell of a time cleaning that stuff out. In fact, they can't. So then they fill that tank back up. And she told me, I thought they replaced the water every time. She said, no, they filter the water. So they drain it, filter it, and then put it back. Oh, but it's full of like salt and stuff like that. So normally it'd be good for you, but I'm probably killing that business right now, but it really should take a rest actually during this time frame. So she's saying that the owner of her establishment they don't care, right? So be heads up out there, guys. All right, be heads up. Be cognizant of things that are going on out there. Use your thinking caps of what you're doing. Got to detox every day, guys. You got to detox, especially you guys that have been jabberdude. Got to detox. And if you're in the healthcare industry, you got to detox like crazy, right? All right. Oh, man. I think I'm going to have to take this one down. I'm going to be able to leave this one up. It's going to have to go on Rumble. Michael J. 5326. 5326 is the Navy SEAL enlisted number, not numerology, but number enlisted classification, right? So Michael J, obviously Michael J as for Jaco, 5326 in Rumble, and Unleashing Intuition in Telegram. All right, you guys need to get on those things. Telegram is really about the only thing worldwide. So you guys are watching me in other countries, Russia, wherever you're at. Telegram, all right? Telegram. Because if everything goes down, everyone's going to be able to still use Telegram. All right. So here it is. Laura Eisenhower shares some of the best information ever. I really think so. You will not be disappointed. So you guys are tearing into this. So hello, everyone. It's Michael Jacob. Boom. See that? I saved this like a little over an hour ago, and it had 10,000 views. Now it's got 14,000 views, right? So a lot of you guys are jumping in on that, and you must be passing around because I only got like less than how many subscribers do I have now on this backup channel? Like 28.5. So that's almost half of my subscriber base. It will be well over that. So you guys are sharing it. So if you share it, tell your friends to subscribe, please. All right. So we can get this channel back up so we can reach more people. All right. So when I do a live like this, it helps because more people are, notified going live, and it reaches a far more people than I get on all the other social media that I have, which is being squeezed, right? All of us are being squeezed, and that squeeze is going to continue. The longer they stay in power, the more they're going to squeeze, and eventually there won't be any of this left, guys. All right. So if you guys don't help other people wake up, it's going to end for us. All right. It's going to end for us. And that's just the way it is. I mean, it's very obvious to see where this is going, right? It's going to 1945 Germany. We're there. We're almost there. So anywho, that's a great show. And then I got all the links down there for all of my stuff. The link for michaelkjaco.com, of course, takes you to, all my merch. So got great merch, keeps building. I'm going to be wearing my merch for a while. It's great. So you guys will see my merch pretty much every day going forward. Joan of Arc. So some of you guys that were in, I looked at some of the comments. Some of you guys that watched that show, that one will be able to stay up because we didn't talk about any of the stuff that I'm talking about now, right? Jabberdoos and stuff like that. So these guys are going to root that stuff out. They're going to figure that out and say, hey, he's talking about that stuff. We got to shut it down. And so it's got to go in Rumble, right? So I would like to just talk openly about it, but if I had President Trump on right now, they would shut me down right now, right? So if I go too far, even though I'm going to take this down, they would come and shut me down and strike me, or maybe even just do away with my whole. They've done that before. With no strikes, they've taken down a whole channel because I talked about some stuff, right? So Joan of Arc, the Maid of Orleans. So the energy, of course, the Maid of Orleans had Archangel Michael. How about that? Had received visions of Archangel Michael. She was obviously she was the end of the 100-Year War between English and the French. 100 years of fighting, and I was involved in that in many lifetimes. So her military campaigns, when she basically went and saw the Dauphin and said, "Hey, you're going to be king. I'm going to make you king," and he's like, "You want to be the head of my army? So let's see what you got." And that's pretty much the way that worked out. Now, I was with her in that lifetime, and I trained her. I was John the Second. Let's see if I can find that link, because these links are going to continue, and I'm going to show you a lifetime patterns that I have. So this is cool because I researched all of these lifetimes, and it's the Duke of Alencon. And let's see, where is he at? Come on. John II, life and career, rise, military campaign. Should be in here. Should be finding it in here. So anyway, as I'm looking for it, I trained her, and I have memories of training her. I went to Paris. They wanted me when my book, The Intuitive Warrior, first came out. They paid my way to go, my wife and I, to go to Paris, and I was supposed to speak, and I did speak to a lot of people. They like I said, they paid my way for everything. Duke of Alencon. Where is Jean the Second? So they paid my way, and we went down and look where Joan of Arc was burned at the stake. And I just had one of those uh-oh moments. There's something here. There's some kind of past life connection here. And it came through pretty strong. So I ended up doing eventually research, and eventually I got to the point where I found lots of different lifetimes, and they started to come through and connect. So some of you guys wanted Laura Eisenhower and I to talk about Joan of Arc. So here I am talking about Joan of Arc. I'm starting that. Maybe we'll get together and talk it up. Where in the heck is that link? Because that link leads to a lot of other things that I want to talk about. So I'd love to find that. Life and career. So it was interesting doing the research on her. I watched all the movies, and as I'm watching the movies, I'm starting to feel, where I'm at in this lineup with her. So let me go. If I can't find it, I'll just type it in real quick. I'll give you one story. This is how I knew that she was definitely, given insights. We're at this one, not battle, but we're at the walls of this one city, and we basically surrounding them, and we'd set up some walls of our own. And so we're like looking at them, and she was like, "Jean, step away, step back." So I stepped back. I had memories of this, and then I found it in history, and a cannonball went right by. And I looked at her, and she says, "I know things." I was like, wow. So from that point on, I never doubted her. And of course, and then of course I have these abilities now, having the Archangel Michael experience that I had in this lifetime. So who knows, maybe that was like, building me up long ago to be able to handle this information that I'm using in this life. So that's the beauty, I think, of the feminine energy that's coming in right now. So let me just punch this in. Geez, can't believe I can't find it. Jean. All right. So John II. So you guys talk about you know, the different, because I think it was Templars that were involved in putting her in power and training her. So I have memories of being a Templar in that lifetime. So the Templars aren't all bad. And of course, they've been infiltrated, and there's baddies in the Masons and the Templars now. So anyway, let's see. See if I can find this. John, a second. Alan Cole. There it is. All right. Click it. So, you know, when I saw this, there's a coat of arms. Where's the coat of arms? It's not showing it. Dang it. So it will be when I show up the Daddy-O. So John II, Duke of Alençon, was basically the guy that trained her. He was her head general. And I was appointed by Charles to be her general, train her, and get her to the point where she could start to use the sword and so forth. So that's where she got all that. And then we found her badass sword that has a history. Look up Joan of Arc's sword, and that'll lead you down a very nice rabbit hole for you guys that are interested in this information. So my father, Duke of Alençon, was in the let's see what he was in the one battle, French history. Next time I'll just line all this up. I can't believe it's like I couldn't find it, because I thought it would be like a click, 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 and you guys would be like super impressed, but not so much. So anyway, maybe I should just do that. Just line it all up so I can like talk about it. Battle of Crécy, no, he was in the Battle of Agincourt. Yes, here he is. So this is my daddy in that lifetime. He was at the Battle of Agincourt. And so I was not this man. So I was the son of this man. This man fought in the Battle of Agincourt. So Agincourt was a battle that Henry V, who I was, fought the French. And this was a major turning point in relations and stuff between the French and because the French were getting a little out of hand during this time frame, and they were very powerful. And the Kingdom of England came in to basically spank them, and they went in against kind of like, you know, what we're up against right now, up against a great force, right? And he basically prevailed over unbelievable odds. And what was it that how he prevailed? Well, the Battle of Agincourt, he had King Henry V of England had about 8,100 men going up against up to 25,000. 14 to 15,000 were 10,000 men at arms, and 4 to 5,000 archers and crossbowmen. So this is where the English archers turned it was like a secret weapon. So we had them train and train and train and train and train. So the archers could, like, you know, thump something far away, and they had they started making arrow points that could thump through armor. All right, they had like these incredible bows that you had to be like super strong. You had to develop, you know, like Popeye muscles, and all these archers had Popeye muscles on that one side, and they could, like, you know, do the English longbow and thump an arrow through armor. This was unheard of. So they thumped armor through the French nobility at an unbelievable rate. And they were the ones that won that battle. So Henry V knew that. He knew that they were his secret weapon. And the French didn't think it's like they're arrogant and like, you guys are going to lose. And they kicked their ass bad. So at the field of Agincourt, there'd been a rain like just before it, and the field was muddy. So they couldn't come in with horses. So they had to come in with their armor. So their armor, imagine wearing armor, full armor. So all these, nobility guys were wearing their armor, and they thought they were invincible, which normally they would be. And they were coming against King Henry's. He only had like 1,500 men in armor. So these guys should have been slaughtered. But it was the archers, as you can see here, that basically turned the tide. So they rained arrows into these men at arms on the French side, who were getting slowed down by the mud. All right. So how does this other guy come in? This Duke of Alençon, who was my father, who I killed in this combat. And then I was that guy. So remember how I talk about how I have multiple lifetimes and they all seem to like work together. It's crazy when I find this stuff out. I'm like, God, what is this? This is too much. But then when you say it's too much, then you get more. It's like, whoa, oh, too much again. So the Duke of Alençon basically came up and knocked off a piece of Henry V. He had his crown on because he wanted his men to know that, hey, I'm right here with you fighting. That's what good leaders do. They're out there right in front with everybody else. So these guys are fighting like crazy and like madmen. And it gets to the point where he almost gets taken out by this Duke of Alençon, and then eventually prevails. So before the Duke of Alençon could take a knee, which basically they basically surrendered. If they knew they were about to be killed, they surrender, and then they'd be taken prisoner, and then they get a ransom. So that's how a lot of these guys made a lot of money. So Henry V became very wealthy because he took a lot of prisoners, because a lot of these guys gave up, but a lot of them, a very high number of them were slaughtered, right? Because these archers, once the battle started to turn on their side, they came down into the mix and were firing almost point blank into these guys and these suits of armor. And then they were trained to basically they had knives where they could like come into underneath the armor and kill, right? So these archers were badass, and they really turned the tide. So I feel like the archers in that battle were like the special forces guys, right? So it was absolutely amazing turn of events. So anyway, just to give you guys a little idea about Joan of Arc and how all this stuff, like, it's not just one lifetime you guys will have with somebody of that caliber. It's often many lifetimes. All right. So has Joan of Arc come back? I think she has, and I think she's out there. Who knows where she's at? All right. I don't. But maybe she'll show up. I don't know. Kristi Noem attacks governors getting political and not doing their job.
Normally, the summer heat slows down migrant surges at our southern border, but not now. Last week alone, over 20,000 illegal immigrants were apprehended in the Rio Grande Valley sector, just weeks after we hit the 1 million migrant milestone last month. This weekend, one woman crossing the border stopped to talk to reporters, saying, quote, "Thanks to President Biden for the opportunity to come here now."
So what's the problem with this? What's the problem with this? There's lots of problems with this. So the borders are basically shut down, except for these people that are coming across the border. So they're being given free rein to come across the border. Why is that? There's lots of reasons why that is, right? Lots of reasons. So we know that party drug that they have, they get from children, starts with an A. They were lacking in that because Trump was shutting down the border. And now they're filling that because there's lots of children coming in and disappearing guys. That should piss you guys off like crazy. You'd be throwing off your mask and like rate and pulling people out of office buildings and stuff. I don't know. So that's why this won't live here on YouTube, because I get a little out of control sometimes. So time for a revolution. We're seeing these guys do this stuff, and they're flooding a million by now, a million. So they were saying at the beginning when this started that maybe this year there would be a million. There's already a million immigrants that have come in, that flooded in. Now, where are they coming from? They're coming from places where they're locked down. They're starving to death. They're locked down in their own countries. So they're leaving them in desperation because Joe Biden said it was okay. So they're coming here to America, the land of the free and the brave. Well, maybe not so brave anymore, but and maybe not so free anymore, right? So you guys are in states are getting locked down, and it's coming. So as we move forward, we're going to see. It's 4:44 back on the West Coast, or it just was. So as we go forward, we're going to see more and more of this stuff happen. More people coming across the border because that's the way they get their party drug, right? That's the way they enslave women to basically be their sex slaves, right? So there's a lot of that going on, and of course there's lots of young men that are coming across too. Think about that. And so these guys are a lot of times from shady places and shady groups like MS-13. All right, some of them are getting stopped out. Now, I had a woman that I worked with when I was in the casino as a casino security manager. She was one of my officers, and she was from El Salvador. And she said, "Tell your president that if he just sends them back to El Salvador, they come right back in." Like, okay, I'll tell him. Hey, President Trump, President Trump, President Biden, they're just coming. Yeah, I know they're coming in. I want them to come in because they're going to do my bidding here soon. Oh, okay, never mind. So that's kind of what is going on, because they need their actors to once the riots start happening, get really violent on this next one. So they have lots of plans. They have lots of plans. If the shutdown doesn't work for them, then the rioting starts, right? And maybe it's in conjunction with all of that too. So I've seen this. A lot of people have seen this. It's something that's coming. It's something you guys need to be aware of, and you need to start planning for it. All right. We talked about how you need to have food, to last through some, always have, I live in Florida. I lived in California, earthquakes. Now I'm in hurricane land. So you got to have food and water to last in situations. And I'd say at least money, to pay bills for a month. I got more gold and silver. So gold and silver, if everything gets shut down, that might be the only thing that works. You won't be able to have access to crypto because everything's going to be shut down. And these guys, are going to start to become really out of control. Now, what's good about places like Florida is just in concealed weapon holders, which they, because people sign up for that. So they have a number on that. I think the last number I saw was 1.3 million concealed carry, which I will get here pretty soon. So the concealed carry holders, 1.3 million, that's like more than the military, just in Florida. In Texas, I know you guys have a lot too. And you guys in Texas are like, hell yeah. And I'm like, hell yeah. So we might need that. So that's just the people that have concealed carry. Now, there's probably way more people that have guns. All right. And that's very good. The Army of Florida and Texas, So you guys that are concerned about military problems, of course, at least half that military is good to go, right? At least half. Because if we look at, how divided America is right now, maybe 50-50, maybe not so much now. I hope it's not that much now at this point. I think we're starting to see more and more people wake up on independent and Democrat side. Not to say that all Republicans are great, as we know. I think the people are, but the politicians aren't. All right, we're seeing that. It's very clear, very obvious that we have a very systemic problem throughout the government. All right, and it needs to be cleaned. CIA, FBI, all those groups need to be cleaned, need to be completely disbanded, and something else, formed. That's going to happen at some point. Now, will that happen overnight? Of course not. It's going to take time. Will the shutdown in the economy happen? Probably. Will it last a long time? I don't think so. I think it probably will be a week. I think it's going to be a week, and then it's going to transition into the quantum system. So all you guys are like, oh, good. I just sit back and wait. It's not going to be that easy, guys. All right. It's not going to be that easy. So as you guys saw, I was just talking about wars. Yeah. Talking about pow pows. And so somebody asked me, what's a pow pow? Come on, really? Pow pow, pow pow. So there's going to be some problems going forward, guys. As always, when we go through, and a lot of you guys are like, well, just focus on love. Well, that's very important. You do that because remember, I was in combat and I focused on love, but there was still violence. Yes, but there's not as much violence for Mike and his team. So because I was focused on that love and I knew stuff way in advance and we stayed safe, that's the way you guys need to be going forward. So whether you do my courses, whether you've done my courses or not, you keep watching me and you learn intuition, right? You learn intuition. You watch the other people like Laura Eisenhower, David Rodriguez, maybe not totally, intuitive, but he's trying, and he has a good heart. So that's a major factor, having a big old heart. He's a big man. He's got a big heart. And, he's been through some trauma and it changed him. So everyone, going forward goes intuitive. Do it now. Do it now. If you are still on the fence on this, you are not going to be good going forward, guys. So I'm not trying to like blow myself up. I'm just trying to get you guys to the point where that things are going to change, because I know a lot of you guys are already intuitive. A lot of you guys have done my courses. But if you're still on the fence as far as what intuition is, you don't even know what intuition is, I do have a book, The Intuitive Warrior. So please, at least do that book. That's going to start to open that door for you. All right. So once you get into that, then start to open your mind, start to go down these rabbit holes. Look, I just threw you guys a massive rabbit hole on past lifetimes, and you're like probably still spinning from that, going, I don't know about that. Well, I didn't know about that either, and I started doing the work, and then it's just a boom, 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 boom. I'm like, whoa, and I'm just scratching the surface. Even though I found well over 100 lifetimes, I know there's a lot more, and I'm like, I think I've got enough for now. Let me just kind of like be with this a little while. And then I'll maybe spring into the next level, because Buddha knew every single one of his lifetimes, and he even knew the people around him, how they played into those lifetimes. So that's kind of what I look at too. I look at people and I go, you were with me in that lifetime, and this is who you were. All right, I can see that, and that's what he would do. All right, so I'm moving into that level with my consciousness on the past lifetime stuff too. Now, I know a lot of you guys like look at me as like, something about you, I think you've been in past lifetimes. You probably have, right? So that's good but not always. Some of you guys think you know me and you don't, right? So maybe something else is going on there. I don't know. So don't get crazy on me. All right, so let's listen a little bit more on this.
There is an open southern border the entire country is put at risk, which is why South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem sent National Guard troops to help do what the Biden administration won't, which is secure our country. She joins me now for an exclusive interview from the southern border in McAllen, Texas. Governor Noem, welcome aboard. Last time I saw you, it was at CPAC in a hallway. Everything was just so fast moving along, but I talked to you at that point because I was...
So isn't this great that I was just talking with Joan of Arc and Kristi Noem? I'm not saying that she was, but she has that energy, I think. So a lot of you out there have that Joan of Arc energy, that warrioress, goddess energy. And I think that that's what's going forward. That's helping humankind to balance itself. And, you guys, women have been suppressed for a very long time. We see a woman news anchor. Remember Barbara Waters? How many of you guys remember Barbara Waters? She was like the first news anchor, and they didn't like her. They tried to like they attacked her and all kind of crazy stuff. And she just held her ground and just did a great job. And finally, now you see women anchors and you don't even think twice about it. Right. So now we're seeing women governors. At some point we'll see, a good, not a Hillary Clinton president, but a good woman president. It's coming. It's absolutely going to come. So we need a good vice president, a female vice president. Is that going to come? It's got to come. It's got to come. All right. So the energies of the feminine are coming in. They're balancing the masculine, and they're doing it as you women do, with great finesse. All right. And now we're seeing, a strong female here, a Joan of Arc type of female that's really standing up and getting a lot of notice. Of course, she gets attacked like crazy by these evil leftists, because that's what they do. They try to control the narrative, and anyone that looks like they're getting more traction for good than they do, they come in and try and tear them down, instead of like going, oh, look at her, because aren't they supposed to be for that? The leftists, aren't they supposed to be for, equality? But yet they attack her like crazy. So as you're going to hear, if you've never heard her before, listen to her now. All right. She's down there with the National Guard, kind of like Joan of Arc, out there in front, and helping these guys, secure our border, because this evil group that's in there now is trying to destroy our country.
Speaking with the participants at CPAC, people were asking, who is your dream team for 2024? And of course, President Trump, we know, is a favorite of all of us. Your name also came up, and I've been a big admirer of yours. And yet I was surprised to hear that. But you've been in the news.
And that was cool what you just did there. She's very humble, right? So I never heard that, So, but I think she would make a great president. I mean, she's done an absolutely magnificent job in South Dakota, and she talks the talk and she walks the walk.
Now at the border, can you tell us what you think your own impact is as the governor of South Dakota, certainly now with your National Guard troops on the border? And does this signal a national message that you want to send to the American people?
Well, for us, when Governor Abbott and Governor Ducey asked for help securing the border, we recognized it immediately as a national security issue, something the federal government should be doing but was neglecting to. And for us in South Dakota, that impacts us. Also, the drugs that come across this border end up in South Dakota, filter a lot through my Indian reservations and end up throughout the Midwest. And then we also have a huge human trafficking issue in this country that this open border is facilitating. So for us, we had many reasons to respond to Governor Abbott's request for help. And the reason I sent my National Guard is because this is exactly what they do with excellence. That's one of the great things that was good to hear on the ground here today from Border Patrol, was how grateful they were that I sent National Guard. They perform missions like this. It's clearly defined. They know their training level when they get here. They can work as a team and a unit. They complete the task. And then when it's completed, South Dakota is known for doing it with excellence. So our folks.
So there you go. It's a big boom. And so they're out there in the front. She's out there with her National Guard, training them up and get them exposed. So if there's ever a problem going forward, I think they're going to be good. I think they're going to be good to go, guys. And everyone that sent, like Florida sending help, and are there other states sending help? I don't think so. I haven't heard of any other states. Maybe you guys know of other states that are sending help. But these are the only ones that I know of that have been reported. So probably do a little research and see maybe some other states. I don't know what's going on with Ohio. Is Ohio involved? Maybe. So there's probably some other states that are doing some stuff. But definitely those states, and they're at the forefront. They're the ones that are hurting from it. So most of those migrants that are coming across the border, a lot of them at least, are coming to Florida. As we're learning, they're just like shipping them into Florida, right? So they want to destroy Florida. We know that. And so they're flooding Florida with them. And they just show up. They just fly them in, dump them off, and then, the local communities have to take care of it. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable what they're doing. And so as we go forward, with all these people flooding in, increasing the 19 rate of infection, because they're definitely not jabberdude. Most of them have been exposed on that trek coming in. A lot of them, I've seen reports of like, a quarter to higher percentages of them are infected. And they're just like, they're not even isolating them. They're loading them up into buses, putting them on planes and shipping them out. All right. So who knows? Maybe that rise is being triggered by these people. But I think there's a lot of people that have been jabberdude are actually doing that, because that jabberdude concoction is creating that 19, right, within those bodies. And that's been it's been reported by a lot of people and I know a lot of you guys don't want to accept that have been jabberdude, or they're around people that have been jabberdude, but and maybe not all of them are. I think that all the people that get jabberdude are not, didn't get the bad jabberdude. So, but there is some very, very toxic jabberdude running around out there. So just keep your fingers crossed. If you're not having any problems right now, then you're good. But there are a lot of nurses out there that are reporting and telling me. Some are saying, like I put out a chat today, because I'm trying to put something out there every day about this very discreetly. And there's a lot of people that said that, I have this one woman that talks about how I should contact her and say, hey, you want to come on my show talk? But who knows, maybe not. But she's a nurse, and she talks about how, she sees all these symptoms, people fainting, having all these other toxic symptoms and so forth, being a nurse. And she's like, if they say that I got to get jabberdude, I'm out, And so I know a lot of you that, in the early days, just jumped on board with it because you didn't know the bigger picture of this, because they kept it suppressed. It was experimental. It's still experimental. At some point soon, I believe they're going to say, oh, it's good to go now. Everybody has to get it. All right. So I think one of the reasons why Trump, pushed it so fast, because he knew that he was probably not going to be staying in, that they were going to steal the election and they were going to step back and let these guys be exposed. But if he didn't get that jabberdew out there before he left, they were just going to lock everybody down all the way until they got it approved. So just imagine, we would still be under lockdown right now. And now they're trying to bring it back. And I saw a list where they have, these variants are going to keep coming out every few months. So Delta this month, something else next, a few months, and just every few months, there's a new one coming out, right? They have a list of that. And I don't know if that's real or not, but, you're going to see some real stuff and you're going to see some disinformation. It could be a disinformation even from the white hats, right? So don't think it's just disinformation from, black hats. That's the only ones that do disinformation. So the white hats will throw some stuff out there to kind of wake people up too. That's not completely correct. Now I see a lot of stuff. Some of the stuff I know not to share yet. Some stuff is blocked to me because it's not, I can't, it's like not ready for human, disclosure yet. So I can't see it. And that's the way the universe works. Until consciousness reaches a certain point, a lot of this stuff is going to be blocked. Now, they trust me to put stuff out when I get a strong feel to put stuff up. I'm like, oh, really? It's like, I'm probably going to lose my channel. And so they're like, yeah, you're on the team. You chose to be on the team. I'm like, okay, roger that. I'll put it out. And so, there's some stuff I put out and some stuff I hold until it's time. And that's what a lot of this stuff is right now. A lot of the stuff you see from me, goes through a filter first. Sometimes I don't have a filter. So I just like, blow it out there. I get a little excitable, but I've always been that way. Ever since a little kid, always getting in trouble, even as a little kid. So I know a lot of you guys are like, I was just like that. It's like, aren't we? And Mark Meadows drops cryptic comment about Trump cabinet members at secret meeting in New Jersey. So you guys know, I had Mel K on my show yesterday, and she talked about being in New Jersey and Trump being there. She was with a women's group, and she said the president looked great. He was very upbeat. He's very presidential. Everything that I've seen on him has been that way. I have people that tell me they have dinner with him. You know, they meet him and stuff like that. So they tell me he's doing good. He says he's in control, and it's good to hear this stuff. I know you guys like to hear it. You like to be on this side where everyone's in the know. That's coming. This is coming to the point where, I mean, you got Governor DeSantis. He's out and about. I mean, he hasn't been. I think the reason why he doesn't go to the Trump rallies is because they don't want both those guys going down together in case there's something that happens. Because these guys are trying their damnedest to cause a problem, take people down. So if one of them goes down, at least the other one, survives. Literally, guys, that's the way it is these days. There's real threats. You guys know Scott McKay came under a bioweapon attack, and his team came under a bioweapon attack. So there's definitely some mischief, evil mischief that's out there. Probably know who did that. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. So anyway, let's see what this gentleman has to say.
Is still there. We've been here actually working on what comes next, not only in 2024, but how we win back the House in 2022 and some of these state houses like Virginia. So it's been a very productive couple of days. I'm still here at Bedminster, as you know, but wanted to join you to talk about really a president that is fully engaged, highly focused, and remaining on task.
Chief, do you want to break any news from your meetings with President Trump?
Well, we met with some of our cabinet members tonight. We actually had a follow-up member meeting with some of our cabinet members. And as we were looking at that, we're looking at what does come next. I'm not authorized to speak on behalf of the president. Okay. But I can tell you this, Dick.
Guys, just sounds like he's talking about President Trump in the present tense as president, doesn't it?
We wouldn't be meeting tonight if we weren't making plans to move forward in a real way and with President Trump at the head of that ticket.
I like it. Well, hey, you can't blame me for fishing a little bit there, right?
Okay, so it's basically at the point where they're revealing more and more stuff. So we've talked about this, that the reveals are going to start getting hot and heavy, and we're in that period. We're in the period of massive reveal. And then you have the steal. They're trying to steal the narrative. We have excellent voting laws. We've always had excellent voting laws. Who stole the last election? Who's trying to make a big scene of the voting laws being corrupt? So they're gonna shout, they're gonna scream, but a lot of people are just like tuning it out, aren't you? Aren't you tuning this out? Are you even paying attention to these people? I mean, I know you guys are like, you don't need to show that. I already know they're idiots, but I'm going to show it. So we have to be on the same sheet of music with these people.
In a state like mine, Texas, literally, we are going to lose our democracy through Texas unless we do something. In about a week, the Texas House Democrats that broke quorum in their state legislature and came here to Washington, D.C. to urge us to take action, they are going to have to make a decision. The special session ends for them, and when they fly back, or if they fly back, a new one will begin. There will be extreme gerrymandering. There will be limited access to the ballot box for the disabled, for people of color. And then.
So really, these people should be thrown in prison or worse. And to have them have be able to talk, and tell lies like this is very frustrating. This is where Mike's mouth gets in the way sometimes. But, I'm very passionate about stupidity and how it affects people. I want people to wake up and be able to see through that, but I know it doesn't always work. All right. A lot of people are captured by these moronic idiots, and they definitely are having an effect, right? they're slowing up the consciousness shift. And I really think they're going to be held accountable, all of them. So when you see the level of corruption, how deep it goes. So I've talked about how if Mike had a team and he went around and cleaned out all the bad politicians at the top, there'd still be people like that would make their way up and start to corrupt the system again. So it has to happen where everyone at a level where they don't even, I mean, they're not even allowed to talk because it's so stupid. Cut the mic off, you know. Did you want to share something truthful? No? Well, then get out of here, you know. So California union opposes Newsom's vaccine order. California's biggest public sector union. So I talked about yesterday. It's funny how somebody must be listening to what I'm saying, because I talked about civil disobedience and then they took down my YouTube channel. And now they're talking about civil disobedience. Right? California union opposes Newsom vaccine order. California's biggest sector union has come out in opposition to Governor Gavin Newsom's order requiring state workers to show proof of vaccination against COVID-19 or undergo regular testing. Richard Lewis Brown, Richard Lewis Brown, president of SEIU Local 1000, which represents some 96,000 employees of the state of California, on Wednesday shared a letter from the union to the California Department of Human Resources, basically giving them the big finger, objecting to Newsom's vaccine mandate. The new policy constitutes a unilateral change, meaning one way, you're trying to screw us, we're not going to take it. Change in violation of the obligation to give notice and the opportunity to meet and confer prior to implementation, reads the letter. So obviously they had a lawyer draft that one up. That was very wordy. And, you know, I like words that get to the point right away. And you lawyers out there are beautiful at that. I love you guys. Guys called on Cal HR in the state of California to cease and desist enforcing this requirement or imposing an immediate deadline until the union has had the chance to meet and confer. So meet and confer. So you guys looking for a deal to enforce this, or what do you mean here? I'm not completely on board with you guys, but the fact that you're pushing back on this is a good move. The move came in response to Democrat governor's order issued on Monday, requiring all of California state employees, some 246,000 people, to get vaccinated starting August 2nd or be subject to weekly COVID-19 testing. All right. So we know the testing is compromised. The CDC itself has said that they're sorry, we made a mistake with that. So but you're still going to use that as testing? It's insane. It's insane to me. All right. So here's Governor DeSantis. I'm gonna back this up just a little bit. Let's see. Let's get this going. All right. This is from Florida Marquis. Love this guy's stuff. If you haven't subscribed to him, Florida Marquis, he puts out some good stuff. Very philosophical guy. We think a lot alike. Another Florida native that's come here to you know, help stay in this environment and help change consciousness. Help change consciousness. So let's listen a little bit to this.
Florida is not debating whether or not we can maybe possibly deal with the federal. No. It's about how nice we're going to be when we defeat them. It's not a matter of if. It's about how nice we're going to be when we defeat them. They want something to cry about? Not a problem. So once again, let me adjust the camera real quick, and we'll let you hear the entire full statement from the governor of the state of Florida regarding where we are and our status vis-a-vis the idiocy out of the CDC and the federal government.
some great speakers and really here to discuss parents' rights, particularly with regards to the upcoming school year. If you have been listening to some of the murmurs going around, particularly in Washington lately, if you listen to some of the stuff that's being percolated around the CDC, there's a movement to try to impose more restrictions on the American people. And I just want to say in Florida, there will be no lockdowns. There will be no school closures. There will be no restrictions and no mandates in the state of Florida. Floridians have been, are, and will remain free to choose what's best for themselves and their families, and we will protect their right to work, we'll protect the right of businesses to operate, and we will protect the right of our kids to attend school in person.
All right, Governor DeSantis, he really gets out there. I've heard from a lot of people that, you know, he goes to a lot of events. He's out there among the people. He's keeping everybody informed. That's the kind of leadership that we need going forward, and that's the kind of leadership we're going to get. Right, not the stuff that's going on right now from the Democrats. All right, CDC director, we're looking into federal vaccine mandate. Federal vaccine mandate. Friday's broadcast of the Fox News Channel special report, CDC Director Dr. Rochelle Walensky stated that the administration is looking into, so remember I said that this was their plan all along, to basically lock everybody down until they made this a mandate, this vaccine a mandate. Host Brett Baer asked, which Brett Baer is definitely a deep state puppet boy, are you mandating a vaccine on a federal level? Walensky responded, that's something I think the administration is looking into. It's something that I think we're looking to see approval of from the vaccine. Overall, I think in general, I am all for more vaccination. But I have nothing further to say on that except that we're looking into those policies. And quite honestly, as people are doing that locally, those are individual local decisions as well. So it should always be an individual decision, madam, not mandated. White House bails on coronavirus briefings. Imagine that. After public revolts against CDC guidance. Wow. So public revolts. They're scared. They're not even going to have any conferences. You know, like they demanded that Trump have every day. And Trump did have them every day, remember? For like months. The White House on Friday struggled to explain to reporters why it suddenly stopped holding coronavirus briefings after the CDC issued its latest masking guidance. So why are the doctors not here in the briefing to take our questions, asked NBC News reporter Kelly O'Donnell during the White House press briefing on Friday. So this was a response. So this is the Deputy Press Secretary, White House Deputy Karen Jean-Pierre, defended not having a briefing with the federal health officials, noting President Joe Biden himself spoke to the American people about the coronavirus pandemic on Thursday. He gave a more than 30-minute speech, Jean-Pierre argued, adding Biden was a trusted voice and the leader of our country. Do not question the leader of our country. Jawohl. But he is not a scientist, O'Donnell protested. No, but we heard from him. What? O'Donnell protested. Since President Joe Biden took office, he promised regular public briefings with federal health officials. Oh, he just lied again about something else. Oh, it's just a politician. They all lie. It's okay, whatever. The briefings are typically led by White House COVID-19 Chinese coronavirus response coordinator Jeff Zients and feature Director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, Dr. Anthony Fauci, and Dr. Rochelle Walensky, the director of the CDC. But the briefing stopped after the CDC announced new masking guidelines on Tuesday, even for fully vaccinated Americans. Remember that clip I played? President Biden, if you're vaccinated, you don't have to wear a mask. I did not have sex with that woman. Of all the weeks not to have a COVID briefing, why this week? Asked CBS reporter Weijie Jiang. I believe that's the way you pronounce that. I have no idea. Jean-Pierre defended the White House's handling of the situation, noting both Walensky and Fauci had appeared on cable news network to detail their new guidance. They've been out there on your networks. They aren't hiding, she said. They aren't hiding. As Joe Biden takes the weekend off because he's so tired, worked so hard all week, took the weekend off up and go to Camp David. So guys, things are on one hand looking pretty good, and on the other hand, not so much. So which do you want? Do you want to focus on the not so much, or do you want to focus on the good side? I say focus on the good side because going forward, that's going to be very imperative that you focus on staying positive, staying in that love vibration, and not letting these knuckleheads pull you down, because that's their intention. All right. Because if they pull you down into that lower consciousness state, they win. If you rise above their ass foolery and go to higher states of consciousness, then you win, and we all win eventually. All right. But not until. So stay in the higher vibrational consciousness. Stay in that love vibration. And with that, I'm gonna go hit the gym once again because I'm all worked up. Yeah. See, my stomach's growling. So I like not starve myself, but I lean myself down. I hit the gym and it gets like super lean. It's like, feed me. And then I feed it. And then it's like sucks it up and my muscles go poof, like that. Just like that. See how big that is? It's not so big right now, but it's getting there. So guys, stay in the love vibration. Stay hard and mean in that love vibration. that might sound like that doesn't sound right, but it does. It works that way. Because think of Joan of Arc. She was badass, right? And she could motivate an army. I saw it. I have memories of it. She was a young maid, but she had a strong voice. And just like you saw from some of these Christy Noem and some of these other strong women, I think as we move forward, we'll see more and more of you women come forward and become strong leadership. And that motivates the men to quit being little wimpies and get out there and start to do their part. And then we all rise. Right? And that's the way it's going to work, because they've really, attacked the masculine side quite a bit, and they're going to continue those attacks because that's their plan to destroy that, and then have their illegal aliens take over. So it won't happen in Florida, I promise you. And probably, I don't know about Texas, because you guys got a lot of Democrats in Texas. Not so many here in Florida. There's still some. Yes, I admit there's still some. And but they're good Democrats. and I really think they are. I think I don't have any problems with anyone here. Everyone has really good consciousness, because some people, they like get the mean because you're not like one of me. And it's like, I don't get that at all here. It's cool in Florida. And beaches are nice and comfy. Everything grows here. Just put a little water on it, and like next day it's like a tree. It's unbelievable. And I'm liking it. I'm liking the energy. I thought I was going to be in California because I like that area, but the energy has gone bad. It's gone bad in California. It's going to be a while before I ever go back. All right. And I'm not saying that I completely stay out of it. Of course, I'm going to go to Mount Shasta, and I'm going to make one last stop in Lake Tahoe to get the last of my things, but there's basically an end for me in California. And that's because that state is ruined. And until such time as Larry Elders becomes governor, please, Larry Elders. I just gave to Larry Elders, LarryElders.com. Elect Larry Elders, Californians. Of course, they're going to try and lock down California and put up the mask mandates and do mail-in ballots so they can steal that election there. But if they don't, I really think that Larry Elders is going to be the next governor. All right. So if you can't support him, because he's got, we got Newsom. He's going to have a $50 million war chest to defeat Larry Elders. It's insane, right? So these people have way too much power. They have way too much money. But a lot of times, if we gather together, it doesn't matter. We still defeat them. So that's going to be the thing we have going forward. All right. So lots of love out there. Stay in love vibration, and I will see you guys next time. And this will not live on YouTube. It will go over to Rumble and Telegram. All right. Lots of love, guys.